Welcome back, everybody. It seems last time I recorded, the mic was only picking up on one side of the speakers, and so if you're using headphones, it would only come up on one ear. I fixed that, and now it should be coming out both. And also, I got a better phone, so it should have higher quality. Hopefully, I got rid of the iPhone 7, but I asked people what they wanted to hear, and the main thing that I got was they want to hear about how I my love life. I guess I should say they want to hear about what relationships I've been in. So I didn't really know which one to do or which one, because I don't want it to be too inappropriate to post or anything. But I guess I don't I don't really been I don't really have any I have tough breakups, I guess I should say, but I don't really have I don't think I've been cheated on. I'm pretty sure I haven't been cheated on. I was extremely suspicious at one point because it was the girl I was talking to. She was just not that intact with what was happening necessarily. She I don't think she cheated. I think she just didn't know how to handle situations. I believe that happens pretty often, that people don't actually cheat. They just don't know how to like uh, defend themselves in a manner that makes it seem like they're not guilty. So I've had a bunch of relationships like that because most of my relationships end on the fact that I'm a bit too stubborn. I would say they're mainly my fault. I'm just not happy. I'm just not. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily unhappy. It's just I don't feel comfortable with certain things because I'm super strict. I'm super strict, and I don't like doing a lot of things. And so I'd say my first I'm in love type relationship was whenever I was in ninth grade. It was the summer of ninth grade, and I had a girlfriend named Nicole, and Nicole was a weird individual. Okay, she's weird. She was just into and that because that was my emo phase, the ending of eighth and the summer of that eighth grade, and that was my emo phase. So I was looking for an emo girl, and she was into voodoo and whatnot, and her dad was heavy into drugs and everything, and so she was my type, my big tittied goth chick. That was my thing, except she had a big old booty. I mean, the thing was. Anyways, basically what happened was we were all in love, eighth grade puppy love. Probably people have experienced that before. It's pretty common. And basically it was all going good, but she had a super dysfunctional family. And this one didn't end because of either of us, but it was super sad because we hung out a lot. We went to family, I went to all her family events because she had a big family, and we got together. We got along pretty well. Never really fought or anything. I was always suspicious of her because she'd always text this black dude, and she wouldn't let me read the text, and I didn't want to read them. She just would hide her phone when they're texting, and so I was like, oh, suspicious, but I don't know. But basically what happened was, her mother came back to take custody of her, and she didn't like her mother, so she jet out of here. She had to either go to court, which wasn't going to work, or have to move back to Idaho. So what she chose is that she's going to move back to Idaho with her dad. And so eighth grade me was right in the field. I was upset. I was just fiddlestick. I tried, but the sucky thing was that they took me to the airport with her. And so she cried, and I was like, oof, because I'm not super emotional or anything. And so I was just what do I do? So I was hugging her, I guess. She was just crying, and my mom was like, ugh, I don't know what to do about this. But we went to the airport, and she gets on her plane and everything. And we wait there for her to take off. But then the plane's nope, not going to work. We have to do it tomorrow. And so she comes back off, and I'm just well, this is awkward. Because she cried so much, and I was oh, so sad. And then she came back. I was well, I don't know how I feel anymore. And then the next day, I'm pretty sure I stayed the night at her house. So the next day, I go back with her to the airport, and then Simon's awkward. Then because now I'm just kind of well, I already kind of went through this, so I guess I'm kind of used to it now. But she got back on the plane, and we kind of just texted awkwardly. I texted her, and I was just so how's the plane ride? Because I didn't know how to respond because I already pushed out all that emotion on the day before. And then here's the kicker. When she got to Idaho, she then immediately became a lesbian and started screwing a bunch of girls. And that did not help my confidence at all, because I assumed that I did something wrong along the line to make her into chicks. And so I didn't know what it was. But then again, I have some pretty feminine qualities, I guess. You guys have probably seen people keep asking me for booty pics, which I want 100 subs, and I promise. But yeah, she started dating chicks, and the chick she dated was super ugly. You ever do that? Like, you'll date a person, look at their exes, and you'll see that they're butt ugly, and it makes you feel really ugly, or it just makes you think they have really low standards. Because some people will do anything for an ex that was like a total douche, because it's like that's what they're used to, and so I can't blame them. But some people will just date butt ugly people, and then it makes me like. Then, because it affects my judgment on the person that I'm dating, because it makes me think that they're ugly, which is not a nice thing to say. I know. But most of my relationships, I don't date typically because they're attractive. I date them because I'm interested in them, or because they'll supply me with something that I need, which can be sexual, which does not mean it 100% is. It means it has the possibility to. I don't require that. I don't think any relationship should, because I've dated people that are like, we need to have sexual relationship. I'm like, no, you don't. I don't think you have to, because that's setting it up for failure. Because if you like skip out, let's say for like a month on sexual relations, you're gonna be lacking in something, because then you feel that sex is needed in that relationship. Same thing with, let's say you go to the movies every single Friday. If you miss 4 Fridays in a row, one of the two people, typically the girl, not to be like stereotypical or anything or sexist, it's typically the girl, is going to believe that something is wrong because they have not gone to the movies every Friday. Same thing with intercourse, same thing with holding hands. It just depends on how often you guys do it and what you guys have agreed upon. But I don't really like relationships. I typically stray away from them, as most of you probably know. Anyone who's watching this probably knows that. I'm much more of a wing it type of guy. I just go on. Which you guys can take from that if you will. You can take whatever you want from that. It doesn't really bother me, because I've been, then people have, ooh, you're a bad word. You're a, I don't really want to cuss on this channel. Sorry. So, like they'll call you a hoe, or they'll be like, oh, you just screw around with a bunch of girls. Like, no, I honestly, I talk to one girl at a time, but they usually only last for like 2 weeks, because we have an interest together. We want one thing out of each other, or we want like two things out of each other, and then we're usually done. Because then, you guys have been like you've seen that before, right? Like you'll be with someone, and then after you get to a certain point, it's just fiddlesticks. And some relationships aren't like that, because there'll be relationships that like last for like multiple years, and that's because they want multiple years together. But if two people don't want multiple years together, then I can understand if they just want to be together for a week. So I don't judge people based on that. I judge people based on like cheating, or like giving other people STDs, or like a bunch of different stuff. There's other things you can do. If like saying you use a condom and you didn't, and so stuff like that bothers me. But like sleeping with a bunch of people, I don't care. Dating a bunch of people, I don't care. You can kiss a bunch of people, it doesn't matter to me. All that matters is that like consensual things, and that you guys have you want the same thing in a relationship. That's what makes it important. Communication and an end goal. That's a good question to ask. What do you want to do with your life? What's your goal in life? And that will typically get you an answer. It typically gives you an answer of like how long you guys are gonna last. Because I can typically choose the day. When I say that, I'm not saying I'm gonna pick out a day. I'm not gonna like aim like at a calendar with a dart and choose a day that I want to break up with a girl. I'm saying that you can typically know when it's going to end, depending on what they want to do with their life. If their goal, if you're dating an 18-year-old and you're 16, if their dream is to move to college when they're 18, then obviously it's going to end when they turn 18 or when they leave school. But if you're the same age and you guys want to go to the same college, then typically you can get the idea that they want to spend more time with you after high school years, and it's just little stuff like that. I've never been much of a dating person. I've always just wandered around, I guess I should say. I've never really liked committing. It's a scary thing. Honestly, I'll admit it's a scary thing. It's trusting someone that much with like all your feelings and all your details of your life can be very upsetting, and it can be very regretful. It can be very damaging, because putting a lot of trust in someone is obviously it's trusting. It's what you're supposed to do. Most people will not do that. They'll just resort to sexual things, or like doing favors for people, sexual favors, and that's what bothers me. Because people will have like there's a lot of sex nowadays, man, and I don't have a problem with it. It's just not really meaningful anymore. It's just kind of they slap it on the table, then have a go at it. I'm just like, I don't like that so much. I do like a little bit of meaning in it, and I don't mean I like any. I mean there should be meaning in it. Don't take that out of context. But basically that's it for this episode. Be a good partner, don't cheat, and have good intercourse.